Welcome to Gospel Walk. Today, we're exploring a perspective from Christ Academy titled Choosing the Better Portion, which examines the struggle to prioritize genuine intimacy with Christ in a world designed for distraction. Modern life demands constant motion. We are trained to equate our schedules with our significance, measuring our worth by the length of our to-do lists and the speed of our multitasking. This pressure often follows us into our spiritual lives. It's easy to mistake religious productivity for holiness, assuming that as long as we are busy with ministry tasks, our relationship with God is thriving. But there is a distinct danger in burning out while doing things for God if the work itself has become a substitute for being present with Him. To find a way out of this exhaustion, we look to the village of Bethany. 2,000 years ago, two sisters hosted Jesus in their home, creating a historical testing ground for what it means to truly prioritize the soul. Solving our modern sense of spiritual depletion requires us to confront our distracted souls and reconsider what is truly necessary for a life of faith. When Jesus enters their home, Martha immediately steps into the role of the diligent host. She is focused on the details of hospitality, preparing food and ensuring every comfort is met for her guest. However, Luke's gospel describes Martha as distracted. In the original Greek, this carries the sense of being dragged away or pulled in many directions at once. This internal fracturing turns her service into a source of agitation. She eventually snaps, asking Jesus why he doesn't care that her sister has left her to work alone, revealing how her focus on the task has eclipsed the wonder of the guest in her home. Her sister Mary takes a different path. In a culture where women were expected to stay in the kitchen, she assumes the posture of a disciple, sitting at Jesus' feet to listen and learn. Jesus offers Martha a gentle correction. He doesn't condemn her desire to serve. Instead, he identifies the anxiety driving her and affirms that Mary has chosen the one thing that is actually necessary. Martha's experience shows how easily perfectly good, responsible tasks can quietly crowd out the presence of the Lord, transforming joyful service into a burden of resentment. Mary's choice wasn't an isolated moment. It reflects a longing that stretches back through the Old Testament, most notably in the prayers of King David. In Psalm 27, David bypasses requests for military success or political security, distilling his entire life's pursuit into a single desire: to dwell in the house of the Lord and gaze upon His beauty. We see the same radical prioritization in the life of the Apostle Paul, who evaluated his own religious achievements through a completely new lens. Paul had every reason to boast in his status and zeal. He held a lifetime of religious credentials and achievements, considered the pinnacle of success. Yet he describes all of it as rubbish compared to the surpassing worth of knowing Christ. The scale of his life tipped permanently toward intimacy, rendering his former successes insignificant. Across every era of biblical history, spiritual maturity leads to this same realization: a relationship with God is the only asset with eternal value. The shift from busyness to intimacy rests on a foundational truth found in Mark chapter 10. Jesus left the glory of heaven not to demand our frantic service, but to serve us by giving His life as a ransom. Because of this sacrifice, we are freed from the need to earn God's love through relentless, exhausting activity. True Christian service is the joyful overflow of a heart already resting in the finished work of Christ, rather than a performance meant to secure His favor. Practicing Mary's posture in a Martha-driven world requires intentional, practical changes to how we order our days. This starts with a calendar audit, carving out non-negotiable time for scripture and prayer to protect our focus from the noise of the world. It also requires the discipline of saying no to good, worthy commitments to preserve the space necessary for the best thing. Prioritizing your relationship with Christ provides a depth of peace that life's demands cannot touch, a better portion that will never be taken away.